All stories alleged. For gossip and entertainment only. Let's get started.
So, gossipers, I wanted to come on and speak about this rapper. They call him Young Scooter. He died Friday, which was March 28th, I think it was. And it was his 39th birthday. But what was so, not suspicious, but what was, there's a word, I can't even think of the word right now, is the circumstances. I can use that. Circumstances that led to his death is just crazy. And it all had to do with a 911 call that was not truthful. It was a lie. So first we're going to read up on this rapper. I don't know about him, and honestly I must say that when I went on the news and I saw, the rapper Young Scooter died, my initial thought was he was shot by someone he knew, like, gang related, or he had argument with someone. I was thinking, okay, was this also police shooting? But no, none of that was his cause of death. And I even made a post on Instagram, and I'm going to read what I said. And, it's sad that, especially when it comes to rappers dying, your brain automatically goes to someone shot them, or, something to that effect. And this is what I wrote. So my comment on Rap House TV 2, I said, sad to say that's the life they want to live when don't have to. I've never heard of this person and can only assume. Anyways, SIP, that's the culture, and the remaining will never learn, because that's the culture to be big and bad. So basically what I was saying is, in the rap culture, you have to present this image that you might not be. And with rappers, they're known for allegedly, being in gangs or knowing gang people, how they grew up in possession of firearms and drugs, etc. So that's where I went with hearing or seeing this news. But now I'm going to read the story because his death plays with my anxiety. And apparently he died because of a leg injury. He looked like he lost a lot of blood. So when the cops came up with this 911 call, turned out to be a fake 911 call, he jumped over a fence. And I guess the landing or the jump cut his leg real badly, where he lost a lot of blood. And that's how he died. And even the police had to come out and say that they had nothing to do with it. There's no gunshots. Because again, like me, you would assume if it's not gang related, it's the cops. And now to have police officers coming out to defend themselves, like, look, before you go there, we didn't do it. And that's what we're living in now. And I'm going to go ahead and read the article. And this article is from, one second, it's the New York Post. And it says, cause of death revealed for Atlanta rapper Young Scooter. Atlanta rapper Young Scooter died from a leg injury he suffered while fleeing from police on his 39th birthday, according to the Fulton County Medical Examiner. The rapper, whose real name is Kenneth Edward Bailey, death was caused by a penetrating injury of the right thigh caused by wooden fences or debris, which led to significant blood loss, WSB-TV reported, citing the medical examiner's office. So, like I said, when he hopped the fence, but why were you running from the cops? It shows that you were doing something that wasn't legal, right? Why run? And we need to get out of this mentality that, black people see cops and they're afraid. So instead of standing still and wait, they want to flee the situation. No, if you know you're not committing a crime, don't flee. Stand there and wait and face the consequences if there is one, but don't run away from the police if you know you're not doing anything. Young Scooter, who gained notoriety for collaborations with Future and Gucci Mane, died Friday night in Grady Marcus Trauma Center in Atlanta. Before his death, police had responded to a home in the southeast part of Atlanta earlier that night after receiving a fake 911 call claiming there was a violent domestic dispute happening at the property. A woman who refused to give her name but identified herself as the neighborhood watch told the operator she saw a girl running outside naked, being fought by one of the guys, before at least 3 shots were heard, with the naked woman bleeding profusely from the head. Now, this is all lies. The caller claimed that 7 guys who regularly brandish GUNs were shacked up in a home and sold drugs. He's beaten her bloody. He's dragged her back in the house, the caller said, saying she was being held hostage by one of the men, refusing to let her out with a child in danger as well. However, officers only found young Scooter, and another man inside, no woman or child. One of the men allegedly slammed the front door in the officer's face, and both of them fled out the back of the house, WSBT TV reported. As the rapper ran from the home, he hopped a fence and sustained a fatal leg injury either on the jump or in the wooded area behind the house. Oh my gosh, look at that. To lose your life because you're running. Now, there might have been things in that house. Come on, we can't deny that. So before you come at me like judge, blah, blah, no. Like I said earlier, don't run. If you have nothing to hide, don't run. Wow. And the leg. Like I said, play with my anxiety in the sense that you could just go out there, fall or scratch your leg at a certain spot or place, and you could bleed out, die. Wow, okay. The man who ran with young Scooter, who was not identified, later returned home and was not accused of wrongdoing. It remains unclear why the men fled from police. Look at that. This other man returned to the house, no wrongdoing, and they fled. Why? And don't say it's because it's the police. They open the door and they see the police. That's why they got so nervous they ran. No, we cannot get into that mindset of if you see the police and you're black, that means you automatically is going to be accused of this or that. We cannot live like that. Wow. After news broke of the rapper's death, reports began circulating that he had been shot, which the Fulton County Medical Examiner and Atlanta Police Department confirmed were false. You see that? People now, that's when you call someone who wants to get aroused. Oh no, shoot. Sorry, that's not the word. But it's like they're pitting people against law enforcement. And again, I fell for it. People fell for it. You hear rapper shot, go straight to gang. Somebody they had an argument with or police. While we understand that many people are saddened by his passing, it is important to recognize that Atlanta police officers neither discharged their firearms or used any force against Mr. Bailey, Atlanta police said in a statement on Tuesday. The police officers, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation was called in to lead the probe into the bogus 911 call. However, the police department announced on X Tuesday night that 31-year-old Demetria Spence was arrested in connection to the fake call that led to the rapper's death. Now we need to know more about this Demetria person. Did she have something against the rapper? Was she why make up such a story? Demetria Spence was taken into custody by the Atlanta Police Department and charged with transmitting a false public alarm under OCGA 161028 subsection D2 if serious bodily harm or death resulted from the response of a public safety agency, the department wrote. Young Scooter burst into the hip-hop scene after he signed to Future's Free Band's record label in 2012. The following year, he collaborated with Gucci Mane on the Zone 6 hitmaker's Free Brick 2 mixtape. His 2013 mixtape, Street Lottery, also featured appearances from Future, Gucci Mane, Young Dolph, and Chief Keef. So, yes, gossipers, all of this could have been prevented. Again, a fake 911 call done by this Demetria Spence lady. What does she have on the rapper? The other thing, you open the door, see the cops, lock the door, run. But then the other person who did not get killed or who didn't die returned and there was no wrongdoing. Now, there's no confirmation if they searched the house, if they found anything. But if let's say they searched the house and there was nothing, then why run? Again, I don't want to hear anyone saying it's because they're black and the cops and they're fair for the cops, so that's their first reaction. No. I am not buying that. See, I'm getting anxious now because it's like, that's what people are going to run to now. As I said, for me personally, I jumped there because that's what I expected. Now, I'm not, oh my God, just is so much. The anxiety in me now. His foot. This all could have been prevented if they just stood right there, let the cops in. Again, the second man came back to the house, no wrongdoing. And again, they need to investigate this lady on why she would call with such a bizarre story that 7 men was brutally beaten, a woman, and shots fired, and there's a child involved. What is she hiding from, or what is she doing? Now she's going to probably need protective custody. Who knows? Because people are pissed that because of what she did led to his death. Even though, again, he shouldn't have ran, people. Gossipers, he shouldn't have ran. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this story? As always, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching and listening.